Hi Sexies, it's Money from Talk Show Bot, and you're watching No Good Fucking Television. So remember that video a while back where I completely unhingedly explained my OC lore to you? Well, it's gotten worse. The brain fog has completely taken over, and I've actually developed more of their story. Looking back on that video now, you can very obviously tell that this was still a fresh concept. All that I really had down was School for Grim Reapers, here's the characters, that's about all. Honestly, when I made that original video, I still had no idea what reaping itself is within the world of Death Academia, but I do now. I swear to God, I've come up with more lore for this goddamn universe than OCs that I had for literal years beforehand, and I need to share it with somebody or else my head is gonna explode. So today, with the help of this video sponsor, Milanote, I'm going to be doing just that. By the end of this video, we are both gonna be so Death Academia pilled that it's not even funny. So, let's start off with some basic world building that I barely touched on in the original video. Because like I said, that video was made when this concept was still like hot out of the oven. So for starters, what the hell even is reaping? When a person dies, their soul manifests into this sort of amalgamation of how they lived and how they died. So let's say a person had a pretty tumultuous life. Their soul's gonna be on the more restless and vengeful side. And then if they died in a pretty gruesome and gory way, then their soul's gonna be like super gnarly and monstrous. So you've got someone who died horribly and just had a generally shitty life. Bam! That's right, monster terrorizing the living world. And who's gonna stop him? Grim Reapers, obviously. So reaping as a job has been around since this little thing called the bubonic plague. I don't know if you've heard of it. 1 rat, third of the European population. Yeah, there was a lot of death at that time. And you know, the Middle Ages was just not a good time to be alive for fucking anybody, for a lot of reasons. And then you're dying of the plague? That's lots of monstrous and vengeful souls running around. So eventually, that's like, fuck this. I'm not dealing with all of this by myself, and recruits random people from each continent become the original 8 Grim Reapers. And that's basically the origin of reaping as a job. In modern day, it's seen as just like a job that you do. It's kind of like being a hero in My Hero Academia, which, okay, quick note. I understand the Soul Eater comparisons, but actual concept-wise, I've taken way more from My Hero Academia than Soul Eater. I mean, look at the damn name. Death Academia was originally just a placeholder playing on the My Hero inspiration. I don't know how nobody's pieced that one together yet. Anyways, onto the academia itself. The Grim Reaper Academy is, get this, a prestigious academy for Grim Reapers. That's crazy, right? Insane, I know. It's a private boarding school, and I mean like really private. Like, it's not even on Earth. That's right, baby. I'm sucking it up. If I'm gonna have to design monsters and weapons, I'll suck it up and make unique locations too. School's in the dead world now. So in school, you'd learn like shit like dead world history, soul types and weaknesses, general combat, as well as stuff you'd learn in like a normal school. You're technically not allowed to be on the front lines until you graduate, but within the story, that's gonna get to start to be a little bit dubious, but like not full on child soldiers in a war, I swear. Another thing is when you first sign up for school, if done the traditional way, you're supposed to design your own weapon. It's so you and your weapon can constantly be in tune. It's supposed to be an extension of yourself. You get to name them and everything. They're also your responsibility to keep up with and upgrade them when needed. Now, I'm no good with weapon design. I mean, hell, ideas are hard, but what I do like are cool weapons with cool naming schemes. I am a slut for a good naming scheme. So in Death Academia, all weapon names have musical theming. I've got everyone in the main trio's weapons down, as you can see, because I'm literally drawing them in this speed paint. And also Tilde's, but like, he's not here. He's got a cross sword. It's called Bela Lugosi, because haha, vampire. I'm a genius, I know. Now, Lucy's weapon is technically a bit unconventional in modern day. Originally, I was just gonna give everyone super personalized scythes, but I thought it'd be a neat way to show just how widespread reaping is if everyone had different weapons, and scythes were seen as kind of outdated. Like, with as far as technology has advanced since the original Reapers were around, no one in modern day uses scythes. But Lucy had no real desire to be a Grim Reaper. They didn't make the decision to be a Grim Reaper or go to the school, so they've got to take what they're given. And what are they given? A rinky-dink old-ass scythe. That's right. They're not ungrateful, though. They think it's cool and retro as hell, even if people call them a hipster for having a scythe. But anyways, I was just kind of going back and forth on the name for a bit, but I ultimately decided on Soul Punk. I don't think they'd actually be super into the actual Soul Punk album. Like, that's way out of the realm for their taste, but I don't think in universe it's actually based off of anything specific, like naming-wise. Anyway, I don't know. It's like a JoJo stand type thing. Like, that's just the name. Anyways, on to Papaya. I had her weapon off rip, you know? Of course, I'm gonna give the crafty lesbian giant scissors. Are you fucking crazy? They're not actual scissors, though. It's just dual swords, but, you know, you can put them together. Haha, scissors. She's named them separately. So, one's named Tommy and one's named Heavenly. You get it? It's just like Tommy Heavenly. I was debating on naming them Tommy in February, but I think her more gothic alter ego fits better for Papaya. And then for Mauricio, I wanted him to have more of a close range weapon, something that shows off his physical strength, since that's actually a big part of his character. So bam! Bionic bracers, baby! Yeah, these are very obviously inspired by Yang from Ruby. They're cool. I like them. I think he's very interested in weapons, but prefers somewhat hand-to-hand combat when it comes to himself. I don't know. It makes sense to me. His bracers are called the Infinity 93s. One, because they sound like sneaker names, and also 93 till infinity. Anyways, that's the world building out of the way and background stuff. Okay, so I just want to start off with addressing something like super duper cool and big. Okay. So in this drawing, I'm drawing 5 background characters, mostly just to expand the school and the student body. But you want to know something special about those 5 background characters? You want to know who they are? They're fan characters. Oh my god. When I originally made these guys, I never expected them to get so much love, but the fact that you guys went and made your own guys, your own little Grim Reaper OCs, oh my god, I love them so much. I'm gonna show off everyone's OCs and their usernames on screen. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I wish I could fit them all, but like, honestly, that's just unrealistic for me. Oh my god, I love them so much. I love you so much. Thank you. Anyways, gushing aside, locking the fuck in now. So for the rest of the video, I'm gonna be making fake screenshots from a hypothetical Death Academia show. Honestly, this isn't the first time I've done this concept, but I figured I'd give it another try since the first time wasn't great. This specific screenshot, I think, would take place in the first episode, or at least early on in season 1, although all of these would take place in the hypothetical season 1 of the show. If it ever got to be a show. Cartoon Network, smile. Anyways, so I originally planned for the fact that Lucy was Death's kid to be kind of like a secret, but for now, I think I like it being just known as like this thing. They're known as the transfer kid by most people, but like, they're known but not popular, so to say. They've got tons of rumors going around about them and their relationship to Death, since they generally keep to themselves and they don't really feel the need to clear it up, since, you know, they're still grappling with that fact themselves. And honestly, I don't think they like all the attention. Not at first, at least. Eventually, I feel like when they've proven themselves and, you know, developed as a character and they feel more secure in their spot in the academy, I think they'd be more confident with all the eyes on them. Like, for now, though, they feel like they don't belong here. Like, that's how they see it and that's how everybody else sees it. And it feels like they've constantly got eyes on them, and it's not very fun. New location, new lore about yourself, new people constantly looking at you. Somebody get this kid a cigarette. That's a joke, though. Smoking's bad. Hey, you! Are you interested in character and story creation, but you just don't know where to start? Planning projects can be daunting, especially if you're a visual person who has the hardest time actually being able to visualize things, like me. And that's where today's sponsor, Milanote, comes in. Milanote is a tool for organizing your creative projects. Milanote's essentially a digital bulletin board that has many helpful features when it comes to the planning stages of projects. They're especially helpful for character creation. My main use for Milanote was making character mood boards, since currently Death Academia is mega heavy on aesthetics and characters. It's a super great place to store stuff that I think is just so Death Aca-core, you know? They've got super useful and easy to understand organization tools, such as to-do lists so you can know exactly what you need to work on and when, and columns to keep everything organized. Speaking of organization, another great and useful tool is board nesting. Being able to put boards within boards so you don't have to spend a million years looking for a specific one. You can just drag and drop and boop, right there. Board in a board. Another handy feature that comes into play is the draw feature. It lets you just straight up draw on boards, and also color palette creation. It's very helpful if you're working with a specific color scheme in mind, like I am. And oh, what's that? Oh, you're on a team and you'd like to collaborate? Milanote's got you covered there as well with their simple add editors feature. And no worries if you feel frustrated when you see blank spaces, because Milanote's also got you covered there. they've got hundreds of free-to-use templates for when you're just too nervous to actually start from scratch. They're mega easy to access, super helpful, and very easy to edit. So don't worry if you feel like it's just too complicated. So hey, what are you waiting for? Get to planning your projects right now, because Milanote is available for free with no time limit. You can sign up using the link in the description and in the pinned comment and start your next creative project today. And another thanks so much to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. And now, back to the show. Student council time, baby. Okay, I've talked about these guys before in passing. I've even did a bit of a facelift of their designs on stream. So the student council consists of Tilde, Tashawn, and Teru. And Mauricio, I guess. So Tilde's class president, top of his class, yada yada yada. We already know that much. But on to the other two. So Tashawn and Tilde originally were just going to be kind of yes men to Tilde's antics. You know, they're the only ones who really get to see him when the perfect pretty boy president mask is off. But like, yeah, no, I think they also think that he's pretty fucking crazy. Well, I mean, Tashawn and Mauricio get it. And I'd consider Tashawn his second in command in a way. She's vice president and also the real brains behind all of the student council. Whenever Tilde is flying off the handle, she's the one who keeps the whole operation under control. She's the real Little Miss Perfect. Her parents are direct funders for the school. She's popular. Students and teachers alike really like her. She appears to be super snobby from first impressions, but she's actually very sweet. She's just kind of blunt when it comes down to it. Also, Mauricio's got a bit of a crush on her. On top of it just looking good on paper, she's part of the reason that he joined the student council in the first place. And then you've got Teru, who actually is just kind of a yes man. Not in a bad way, he just doesn't know any better. He's a baby. He doesn't necessarily worship the ground Tilde walks on, but if you ask them, they do. He really admires him and his persistence to constantly push himself to be the best. And Teru's a freshman, so they've still got a long way to go before he feels he's at Tilde's level, but he promises to never give up. As for like the student council itself, like the club organization, whatever, I've been toying with the idea of it being like abnormally powerful for just a simple student council. Like, they call an absurd amount of shots and have mega pull in the school, but I don't know. I've got to rotate that in my mind a little bit more. I don't know. And now onto the teachers and staff. I saved this one for last because it's not all that developed or important, but I feel like I should still talk about them. So the teachers and staff are all made of ex-Grim Reapers who quit the profession for one reason or another. In this speed paint, I'm drawing Lucy Mauricio's homeroom teacher, Miss Iano. She's honestly the only teacher with any real significance. I've said it on stream, but her role at first is just kind of shonen sexy lady with a fiery personality, you know? And she's also based off of Miss Delight from that one animated James short, if you know, you know. I think eventually, though, maybe she'd be a good mentor for Lucy. She's a little tough, but she really does care about her students. Back in her reaping days, she was on her shit, dude. I decided that she just had a straight-up gun as her weapon, maybe dual-wielding, but, you know, I haven't quite decided yet. I do know that that'd make for some fun art down the line. She is a super badass reaper, and she's an even more badass teacher. And also, I want her bad. And then there's Mr. Greaves. Pathetic wet cat of a man, but a great teacher nonetheless. He became a teacher because he was forced to retire from reaping because of an incident. Ooh, mystery lore. But he focused his passions into teaching. Or, that's what you expect me to say. No. So, actually, his brother happens to be the principal of the school. Principal Donovan. And after said incident, Donovan was like, dude, it's okay, you can just come be a teacher now. You know, foster the next generation of young reapers. And of course, the ever-realistic Greaves is like, dude, no, I can barely take care of myself. Why the hell would you put me in charge of a bunch of kids? What is wrong with you? They need to take away your principal license. But eventually, he does have a change of heart and gives in and becomes a teacher. Mr. Donovan's a pretty kooky guy when it all comes down to it. Very out there and eccentric, complete opposite of his brother, because I think that's a fun dynamic to work with. And then we've got Nurse Rosé. She's a young nurse who's low-key overqualified as hell to say that she works as a school nurse. She's a very anxious ball of nervousness, though, and has a habit of accidentally making kids just as anxious as she is whenever they come to her office. Like, you got a small cut? Oh, no. Well, what if you accidentally got it on a rusty nail? I hope you got your tetanus shot, or else you probably won't be coming out of here alive. And honestly, that's all we gotta say about those guys. Eventually down the line, I think I'll add more to the staff, but for now, I'm just focusing on students because I can relate to them a little bit more. Woo, that's all, folks. That's all the updated Death Academia lore as of right now. Sorry if you're a big Papaya fan and you kind of missed her in this video. I did make an image, like a fake screenshot with her, but honestly, I went on so much about these three and their dynamics in the original video that I just felt it would have been redundant to even place here. But here, you can have her as a little treat. As of right now, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more major update videos when it comes to Death Academia unless I make like some huge changes, which I don't really see myself doing. I like everything that I have so far. I'm content with the lore and the story and everything. So the cast and stuff, which, you know, doesn't need a video. You can just go to my Instagram, link to my Instagram, plug my Instagram, hi. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's much more that I'd need to update you guys on. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you liked the lore that I came up with, because I like the lore that I came up with. I'm very happy and I'm so ecstatic with how this story is coming out. I can't wait to eventually do something with it, be it like animation or a webcomic or just general talking about it more. Anyways, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that other YouTube promotional shiz. And I'll see you in what's